Servus und Prost zusammen and welcome to Dave's Hopfenstube. As you can probably tell, my name is Dave and I would like to welcome you to my new YouTube channel called Dave's Hopfenstube. In this video I'm going to introduce you to myself and talk a little bit about who I am and also what kind of goals I have for this channel and also what kind of content you can expect to see here. So stay tuned and let's dive right into it. My name is Dave, I'm going to be 33 years old in a couple of weeks and I'm a homebrewer since 2018 from Germany. I live right now in Nuremberg, but I originate from Bochum, which is a very cool town in the Ruhr area. And there's also a few very good breweries around there. And actually I got into homebrewing because I visited a kind of beer exhibition in our area and I talked to one of the craft brewers and it was really nice. And he told me a little bit about Citra hops and Cascade and Whirlpool hops and I was like, yeah, sure, I know what it means, but I actually didn't have any clue. So after the exhibition I came home, went on to Google and, added those words that I didn't know anything about. And sure enough, the first result was Hobbybrauen, which is the German term for homebrewing. Then I noticed a few weeks later there was a homebrew meeting and I asked if I can join them, although I didn't brew at all. And they said, sure, you can just try our beers, and yeah, that's what I did. And I thought the beers were absolutely amazing. I was really thrilled to taste those good beers. And on the very same evening, I picked up a homebrewing book. And 2 weeks later, after this event, I mashed in my first batch, which was an American Pale Ale with Simcoe hops. From this moment on, I was very hooked. I started listening to homebrewing podcasts. Most of them were in English language because in German language there weren't a lot of around. Let's say almost none existed at this day. I actually started one a couple of years later. But when I was starting out, I definitely wanted to get more information, just wanted to really educate myself. And that's when I started listening to philosophy, but also I think my first podcast was Basic Brewing Radio. I love these guys and yeah, I watched all the videos and the audio episodes weekly. Since my first batch in 2018, I brewed over 110 batches on a variety of brewing systems. So in Germany you start out very basic usually, but also definitely all grain. Most of the Germans don't really appreciate extract or partial mash brewing, but I started out with all grain with a Glühweinkocher, which means it's a mullet wine pot that has a built-in heating element underneath the surface of the kettle, and it has 2000 watts, so it was pretty alright to get started with brewing 5-gallon batches. And that's what I did. After that I started upgrading my system to a 2-vessel system with an automatic stirrer and also some induction cooking plates to have more power to brew a little bit larger batches. But then I started to try out brew in a bag, and that's actually one of the methods that I've been using predominantly in the last years. Probably around 40 or 50 batches or so, or maybe even more, were brewed on a brew in a bag setup. Right now, right there in the back, there is my new Speidel Braumeister, which I'm very, very excited to use, and you will be definitely seeing loads of content about this unit. It's pretty awesome. I just brewed my first batch with it, a Kolsch with lemon zest and lemon juice also. So that will be a very interesting brew day that you'll be able to watch in a couple of weeks. If I'm not brewing, I'm also very active into judging. So I did my BJCP judging exam last year in March, and that was pretty fun. And it got me a 76 for my first one. Also, I did a beer sommelier like 2.5 years or almost 2 years ago, which was also pretty fun and interesting, especially the beer history and also some kind of food and beer pairing things that were really, really interesting. So that was a lot about me, but now I would like to get into why I started this homebrewing channel. I wanted to connect more with the international homebrewing scene as there wasn't a lot of brewing content in German, and that's something that helped to revive my old dusty school English. And from there on I really felt that the international, especially the American homebrewing scene, was really, really fun. There was more openness to the hobby. Also, I really hope to bring value to the English homebrewing community on YouTube, because I don't think there are any Germans who put out English homebrewing content, And I think I can give you a very unique and maybe a new perspective on gear, but also techniques, and maybe just, you know, a new perspective on homebrewing in general, because I have a different background than you maybe have, and that might be interesting for you. Every once in a while I would also like to add in some content about German, Franconian, but also European breweries in general that I visited and had my camera with me. So I may introduce you to them, and if you like what you see and fancy a trip over to Europe, you can check them out for yourself. So I hope you really know a little bit more about me and what I want to do with this channel and what kind of things you can expect to see here. And if there are any video suggestions or topics that you want me to talk about or show you in the videos, just let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate if you write me a comment, maybe even leave a subscription. That would be pretty nice, and give the videos a thumbs up, because it definitely helps the algorithm to push my videos so more people get to see it. As always, Prost, cheers, and have a nice day, and I'll see you around.